everybody. I'm just signing on a little early so that we can get everybody on here. I'll start at 2. I feel like I should be playing music for you or something. Just getting my stuff together. Okay, let's get started. First of all, it's 2 o'clock on Wednesday, and on 2 o'clock on Wednesdays, that's when I go live. And I hope very much that it is helping you that I'm putting a reminder out in the morning. If you have any other ideas to make that easier for you, let me know, because I've decided to start doing some fun giveaways and drawings and challenges when I do these lives. So, first things first, I just want to say congratulations to Denise because she won the stamp set in a random drawing last week. The winner was chosen from anyone who put comments on my video, and there was only 5 people, so your odds of winning are very, very good. So this goes to Denise. This week, I am giving a biggie away. This is a full pack of the timber background texture paper with stickers and Picture My Life cards. There's no cardstock in here, but this is everything but the cardstock. And you saw how much fun I had with the timber paper last week, and I just want someone else to have the opportunity to get it too. And so this one, if you put anything you create on my website, on this group page, attached to this video as a comment, anything you make, a card, a note, a scrapbook page, it doesn't even have to have been made this week, just something creative, you will be in the drawing to win this awesome prize, and I will let you know by message if I draw your name. So you have 1 week, because I will draw the names next week right before I go live again. This is a great paper pack. Okay, so this week, one of the things that I really wanted to do is highlight the stamp of the month. Now, I rarely do this, and one of the reasons is I always buy it, and I always have it, but I don't like to use mine in case somebody decides too late that they want it, and then I just sell mine. So this month, though, I looked it over, and you know, I'm not a big floral person. I love real flowers, but stamps, I just get tired of all the flowers. But this one in particular was catching my eye because it has a nice combination of solid stamps where you don't have to color at all to get a really cool effect, and lined stamps where you could just do them all in one color, or you can color them in. And it has borders, a couple of messages that are kind of generic, and it had lots of leaf options. So here I was with, well, this flower set, not so bad, and it's proven to be extremely popular among the other consultants too. So I'm going to show you some of the artwork they've done. I had a lot of scraps left over of the summer vibes because I did all the workshops and all the card sets, and I had little scraps I didn't want to throw away. So I made cards with those, so I'll show you those. In the catalog, when you're looking for the stamp of the month, it's in the back. It's in the back of the book. So each of the 2-month books, like this one here was for July, and this one is for August. I want to give you a little sneak peek of the new catalog. Ooh, it's really cool. It goes live September 1st, and it's very likely that you're on my mailing list if you're in this group. But if not, please let me know. If you place an order, I add you to my mailing list, so you should get them. This is the September stamp of the month. It has a lot of really fun scrapbook sayings, and September is one of our Hostess Club months, so a lot of people will be ordering, and this is an amazing stamp set. There's a lot of very cool things in here that I think we'll be able to do fun stuff with. So watch for that one. I know, the sneak peek of the catalog, it's something, right? All right, so the first thing I want to do is kind of give you a little bit of, I just want to go through some of the ones that I made. So this one, you know, I stamped, I'll put the stamp set here so you can kind of see it, but I stamped solid. You can see this one just looks like a generic sunflower or whatever, so I stamped it in orange. There's another solid. I did the leaves in that glacier just to get a different color on there, and I used the Celebrating You, and this just used a really small, like 3x4 size piece of scrap, and I put a few of the little blingy things on it. The other thing you might notice on the middle of the big flower is I used stickles, and it takes a little time for them to dry, but it adds so much dimension. It looks really cool on this card. So, all right, set that aside. That one wasn't totally dry. The rest of them are all dry. Same thing here. I had a little bit of scrap of the summer paper and the fun stripe. I had mostly the stripe left over of my pack, and so several of them, you'll notice, use that stripe. I love this little squiggly line. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a scrapbook page here in just a few minutes, and I use that squiggly line. So I hope that you guys like that too. And I put stickles on all the flowers. Don't know if you can see it, but it looks cool. This is very similar to that one that I put on as a leader photo to this group, and one of the reasons I put that on there is because I just thought it was so dynamic. This one's similar. I did not make that other one, by the way. This one I just random stamped over the whole page. You'll notice I did the solid ones here, yellows, the red big bold flowers, and just stamped random, and it turned out so nice. I just put a strip of ribbon and a little message on it. I thought that turned out nice. And I still had some of the black bling left over, so I used some of that. This one I had a PML card. You might notice, like, this is a stripy PML card, and I just chopped some of it off. And then in the background, you'll notice it's that water paper that has the different colors. That's why it looks variegated. But I just basically cut and colored. Now, one thing about this set is, if you really want to do it where things are dimensional, there's a lot of fussy cutting. Cutting out all these little flowers is not a blast, but once you have them all, putting things together goes really quickly. I thought this one was fun because it's essentially the same as the other card I showed you. It has the stripy paper, some cardstock. I am almost totally out of that nectarine cardstock. I have used so much of it in this last month with the summer vibes. I just am drawn to this orange for some reason. But you'll notice that I just colored in using my markers with red and orange. And then I used a little black pen just to go around the edges, and notice it's certainly not perfect looking by any stretch, but it adds to the card, so I like that. This one is totally a PML card that I had left over. I just didn't find a use for it. I had a couple of these that I ended up not using, and so I just added a couple flowers and a ribbon. So I made a couple of those. The other thing on this one is I used the shimmer pen. You can tell I like a little bling, but my bling that I like is not fussy bling. I like something that's fast, like adding the dots or brushing with the shimmer pen. I don't use stickles as often just because it takes a little time to dry, and sometimes I'm in a hurry. This one took a little time. Now the background is just a PML card that I had left over. There was some reason I couldn't figure out how to use that plaid in any of my pages. And so I stamped this stamp, the sunflower looking one, in black and in orange. And then I cut this circle out and put it together. That's how I got the layer of the black outline and the orange. I could have just did it all in orange and then outlined, you know, used my marker to outline in black, but I just thought this was easier. And then I thought, well, you might want to see the flowers that aren't so fussy, and so here I just did 3 of them. Of course I did fussy cut them, and I didn't do a great job. If you or somebody who gets this card, please don't look too closely at my cutting. But I just did it while I was sitting in front of the TV last night and threw these together this morning. So this one's a little wild in that I had some flowers left over. I was playing around with different marker colors. This is kind of bold, like bright red, bright orange, bright yellow, all the bright colors. And I used, this is a zip strip from the Summer Vibes. This is a stamp from the set, this little swirly border set stripe. I think I could use that on a lot of stuff. So random stamped, and then I layered some flowers on the top. I probably could have made it even better by putting this on a card or something, you know, like separating it a little bit. But anyway, my fave, well, one of my faves is this one. I stamped 3 times, kind of masked the leaves with a post-it note, and then stamped the leaves so it looks like they're behind the petal. I hope that makes sense. And then I literally just colored. I colored the background blue, I colored the stamps in, and then I used my pen and I just drew around it. And that's it. I just started drawing, and I made some dots, did some bling, and oh my gosh, that turned out cool, right? I love it. Love it, love it. Adding the message, using some scraps. So easy. One thing that a lot of people are doing with this set is they are using it for embossing. So heat embossing on black using white powder, or you basically just need a really wet embossing pad. Now I like the Distress embossing ink. I like Versamark embossing ink. I like, you know, any pigment ink will work, because it just has to be wet enough so that when you take your powder and sprinkle it over, it'll stick. And then you use a heat tool like this one to go over it and melt the powder. And you can tell it's melting when it starts turning kind of shiny. So you can kind of see there's like a little bit of shine there. And it just pops against that black background. And then basically I took some of the images I had cut out and colored and put them on top. I have tons of images left that I stamped. I stamped them in different colors. I cut them out. I have a lot of different things like this because I wanted a lot to choose from when I was making my cards, and I didn't want to have to stop to stamp. I wanted everything ready. So with the idea of the embossing, I want to show you a real quick scrapbook page that I put together. It's not entirely my idea. Oh wait, let me show you what other people have done really quick. Because there's just the consultants are nuts on this set. For some reason, everybody is. Let me move my lights around a little bit so it's not so glary. Okay, I don't know. It's all glary. Okay, anyway, this little gnome is so popular. He is popping up in like every card and scrapbook page. There's another way of doing the little sunflowers, and look, they did the little flower as sunflowers too. That was kind of neat. My page that I'm making is based on this one right here that I saw. I thought it looked really cool. I'm copying it, only I'm doing it in a different color, and so I think you'll like that. This is an example of someone doing random color, random stamping on a whole page, and they posted it because it was so pretty that they didn't want to cut it up, and people were like, oh my gosh, that would be so hard, because you know, making random paper, random stamp paper with this set has been so easy. Here's another example of someone who has done like random stamping. This one's really interesting because they took that wave paper, water paper. Hi, Margie. And this looks hard to me, and I haven't totally completely figured out if it looks to me like they stamped a bunch of flowers, cut them all out, and then just made them follow the lines of the waves. If I did it, I'd be more inclined to cut a slit and stick them in there, but either way, wow. This is a wow page, right? This is something that would take me forever. I agree. Margie said that one sheet wonder cards would be awesome for that. I agree completely. A lot of people are heat embossing, powder embossing with this. I'm trying to keep my glare off of there for you. It's hard. But basically, if you can use any color powder on black paper, and it's going to look amazing, right? And they even black emboss the words celebrating you. And I don't heat emboss a lot. I have to tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I have to do a whole lot at once. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? They just stamped that on solid cardstock and cut it out. Now, that's a lot of cutting. Just gotta say, it's a lot of cutting. There's more. Just like I did using the Summer Vibes, they obviously had more left over than me. They used some of the, I'm trying to, hold on a sec. There. That glare is driving me nuts, I'm sorry. But the, you know, some of the stickers that they used and the papers that they used, I like these really well. Really pretty. Here's one this is the mix-in paper pack. Very simple. It does not have a thin cut. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Look at all the cutting all of us are doing with it though. And look how amazing it looks. This is one that screamed for a thin cut. And wow, right? That's still my favorite. I still love that. Anyway, yeah, here's one this one's really interesting, and I thought about showing this in a live sometime, because what they did was random stamped and then cut the words hello out of it using a die. Oh, I know. Fussy cutting's not my thing either. Here's one using that circle die that a lot of us bought around Christmas time. And it is in the new catalog as well. So it will keep coming. Anyway, there's one using some of the random stamped backgrounds. So I'm going to move this out of the way a minute. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. So again, you know, for me, when I emboss, I like to emboss a whole bunch of stuff all at once. And so I embossed tons and tons of flowers. And I wanted to scrapbook this picture. Now this picture is one that is real special to me because it has my whole family in it, essentially, almost my whole family. And it was really fun to take because we did, like, it was around when Ellen did her selfie, you know, her group selfie that went viral or whatever. And so we did one at my daughter's graduation. So we thought that was fun. So here's the basic layout that I copied. Basically I used a blue background in the sapphire, and then this pattern paper right here is from the Blue Skies. This little grid in the background that I put across is from Blue Skies. And then I made a mat. The colors I'm using is Bluebird, Carolina, and Sapphire, so you can kind of see some of those. And then I'm adding Espresso and Sweet Leaf. Now, sadly, Sweet Leaf I think is one of the retiring colors. I'll have to double check that, but I think it's going. Anyway, I love it. It's one of my favorite greens, and so I decided I really do need to use that. So to start with, I didn't want you to have to watch me adhere everything. So I just thought I'd tell you what I did to the page so far. I wanted to add this really fun wood print because I just had to. You know, I don't know if you guys were on. I'm going to repeat one more time. If you show any piece of artwork in the comments this week on this video, I am giving away a whole pack of the timber paper, background paper. It has the sticker sheet and the PML cards. And I'll random draw for that. And it includes this fun paper. This is the other side of it. Anyway, I used it to make a little tab there. I'm going to put the year or something there. And then a strip right here. I'm really getting my mileage out of this wood paper, right? And then I popped my picture up on foam so that I could decorate and then add my picture last, because I want my picture on top of everything. So in the meantime, I'm just going to remove that. I made this little tag. It says celebrating you. I stamped it in espresso, and I made the little, you can see that I used this little leaf down here and a few of the tiny little flowers. Now the other thing I did, which you guys would think I'm crazy, is I embossed tons and tons of different images, and I have them sitting here off to the side. So I'm going to start building this page, and I want to kind of stamp as I go just a little bit. So the first thing, I really want to use this fun all I can think of to call it is a telephone cord, because it looks like a telephone cord and I can't think of anything else to call it. But I just think it looks really cool around the edge, and it adds a little brown, but not so much that I'm overpowered by it. And if I was smarter, I probably would have done this before I added my border, because wow, that makes it harder to do. That's as good as that's gonna get, because I'm afraid I'll mess up my border. All right, so there's that. I love the little telephone cord thing going all around. I'm a little crooked, but it'll be covered a little bit, so that'll be okay. The other thing I'm going to do in Carolina ink is the sunflower stamp, the one that looks black. The stamps that look black are the ones that look really bold and pretty when you stamp them on your paper, because because they have a solid, they add some solid color to your page. I think that looks really nice. And then I also want to add, this is that solid, that little flower right there with the lines through it. I'm going to add a few of those, kind of random. Where else do I want one? I think up here. I just think, you know, it looks nice. And then I think I'm gonna add my pieces that I have cut, so that I'm using liquid glue to adhere them, but you could add anything. And I also have a lot of foam taped ones. I kind of did that ahead of time. So I really want to show you kind of up close. Like this one, I stamped on sweet leaf cardstock and did white embossing powder. And I cut it out. Yes, I cut it out. I can't believe how much I did of cutting for these. But this is like I said, this is a special page for me. This is a special photo, and it's one that I had that I knew that there was no way I was going to have anything else on the page with it. As a matter of fact, I probably should have had it enlarged. It's one of those live and learn situations. Here's one that I took sapphire paper, embossed it with white powder. I'm going to put it up in the corner. And then I pop dotted this one, which is on the Carolina paper, the same as I used for the photo mat, and then I white embossed it. Sorry, gotta get my adhesive thingy off. I did a bunch of these, which are the open flower right here, and I white embossed it onto the bluebird cardstock. If you were somebody who took advantage of the cardstock special, this would be a great project for that, because the cardstock special has all these fun colors in it. And this is just the little one. I can't believe, here's the ones that I can't believe I cut out. The ones that I hate cutting out are these multi-bumped ones. I could have just used a circle punch, and I didn't. I actually cut them out, which I thought, what a pain. This one, I think I want to pop dot that one. Maybe not. Okay. So this one is on the sapphire. I'm going to put it here. I wanted a little overlap, and I have just a little bit of a pop there too. I have to be careful not to cover my, I don't want to cover my space with my photo too much, because yeah, I'm good. All right, and then I want to do some down here at the bottom. I hope you can see okay. So I did a couple more leaves for down here. The thing about all of this cutting out and embossing and whatever is that you can tell that I did a lot all at once. That's how I do these. And every now and then when, you know, sometimes I'll buy a stamp set or something and I'm just like, that is so gorgeous, I need to have it. And I go and I buy it and I shove it in a corner or in a box somewhere, and I never get it out because you have to fussy cut everything and it's messy and whatever. And this is a great example of like getting something out and stamping a whole bunch of it at once, do all the embossing, having leftovers enough to shove in my stamp folder for next time, and you know, just trying to make it so that it won't be a hassle again in the future, right? All right, let's see, what else do I need? I feel like I need a little more green, so I'm going to stamp this. It's almost hidden, this little fella right there, just a little bit of that, and I just kind of feel like I need some of that kind of random. I like that. That looks nice. That's good. All right, and then the last thing is I wanted to add some of the really tiny ones, and I think I'm going to use sapphire. So I'll put it here so you can see it. So I don't think I want to use this bigger one. I think I just want the real tiny one. What I do on my blocks a lot of times is I'll have one stamp on one side and one on the other, so that I can just grab whichever one I want and use whichever side. But I think I just want this one for now. And I'm just going to kind of random stamp. I love it. What do you think? Do I need, I think maybe I do need the other one. Let me grab it. Maybe I'll do it in a different color though. Is it too much? All right. I think that's it. I think I'm done. Oh yeah, you know what would really add to this is some bling, because you know, we all need some bling. I'm just gonna kind of random add it. Oh, that looks good. I think that looks really good. Okay, last step, my picture and maybe some journaling. All right, can you see it? I hope you can see it. What do you think? Give me feedback, because I think this turned out really cool. I just love it. The only thing that's driving me crazy is this crooked line in the corner is driving me a little crazy. But I think I'll figure out how to live with it. Maybe I'll add a little something there to cover it up. There. That makes me feel better. All right. There you go. That didn't really take me very long to put together. I think I started, the hardest part is, you know, stamping and cutting, which I did in front of the TV, you know, all the parts and pieces and stuff. And so I would have a lot to work with when I was putting my pages together and my cards. So these little tiny leaves are really cute too. I could have probably put some of those on, but I don't think I want to clutter up anymore. Okay, that's what I have. Don't forget to leave a picture of something that you've made on my group page on this video. Comment and you'll be entered in a drawing for that timber paper. You have good odds because Denise won the stamp set from last week and there was only 5 people who were in the running. So you have good odds of winning. Good luck, everybody.